Justin. I'm here with
Francis. What's up, guys?
and we're here to talk about email. Yeah, very exciting.
Not just email campaigns.
Your email campaign could kill your domain. 9 email marketing secrets we're going to talk about that nobody is telling you, and you're about to find out why. Before we get started, I want to warn everybody that we're talking about email deliverability. But here's what's crazy. It might also be one of the most important, because if your business uses email marketing and you screw this up badly enough, I want to say you can damage the reputation of the domain for your entire business, the domain that your entire business depends on.
Yeah. And that's when the boring conversation suddenly becomes interesting, because now we're talking about money. We're talking about leads, customers. We're also talking about thousands of emails that you think you're sending that your customers may never actually see.
Exactly. You could have the greatest offer in the world, beautiful website, fantastic copy, amazing promotion. You spend 3 days obsessing over the subject line, and then you finally hit send. And Gmail says, that's adorable.
And guess what? Straight to spam.
Yeah, straight to spam. So today we're going to talk about these 9 things businesses need to understand about email marketing right now. First thing I want to talk about is just email marketing has gotten crazy. Email marketing used to sound ridiculously simple. Get some email addresses, write something, hit send, done. What changed?
Almost everything. Email marketing is still incredibly powerful, but sending email and getting email delivered successfully are 2 completely different things. So today you've got Gmail, Yahoo, Microsoft, corporate security systems, spam filters, reputation systems, authentication, automated scanners, complaint monitoring. There's more. Hold on. Bear with me. Balance monitoring, engagement signals. All right. All of these systems are trying to determine one thing. Should we trust the sender?
Basically, everybody wants to do email marketing, but not everybody should be doing email marketing without knowing what they're doing.
Yeah, so what happens is, because email providers are constantly fighting spam, phishing, scams, malware, fake domains, billions of unwanted messages, your perfectly legitimate business email gets dropped into the middle of the battlefield. And that doesn't feel the same. And the email provider has to decide, is this something our customer actually wants?
Which means the first sale isn't even to the customer.
You're basically proving yourself to the email provider first.
All right, let's talk about email lists. A bad email list can become a death sentence. This is probably the part where people get themselves in trouble. If somebody starts a business, they want customers, they find a list somewhere, 5,000 people, 10,000 people, maybe even 20,000 people, right? And they think, we just hit the jackpot.
Yeah. No. You may have just bought yourself 5,000 problems, honestly. So, because you don't know what's actually inside the list, some addresses could be old, don't exist anymore, may have spelling errors, or people never requested information from you. Accounts may barely be used. Some addresses may even be spam traps. Then you upload the entire list and blast thousands of messages. Emails start bouncing, people ignore you, people unsubscribe, people mark you as spam, and suddenly Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo start seeing a pattern.
And then, the whole entire system says, people don't actually like this guy.
Yeah, exactly. So ends up, and now what ends up happening is your reputation starts taking hits. Your future emails can get filtered, rejected, routed to spam. And the scary part is that this doesn't necessarily stay isolated to one campaign. You're building a history.
When people say, I've got 100,000 emails, that doesn't necessarily impress you.
No, not at all, man. I'd take 1,000 people who generally want to hear from you over 100,000 random addresses every day of the week.
Yeah, so that point was actually really great. A huge email list is not necessarily an asset. If it's a bad list, it might actually be a liability.
Exactly. So you can buy addresses, you cannot buy trust.
Here's something interesting that a lot of people don't realize. Your domain actually has a credit score. Let's explain reputation because this was the part that really clicked for me. Think of your email domain almost like it has a credit score.
That's a great way to look at it. Let's say your business uses, just fill it in, yourcompany.com, right? Every time your company sends email, you're creating signals. Providers are looking at things like, are the messages authenticated? Are you sending to legitimate addresses? Are emails bouncing? People clicking? People replying? Are they unsubscribing? Are reporting you as spam? And what does your sending pattern look like?
Let me get this straight. If you've been sending 50 or 100 emails and tomorrow morning I suddenly send 20,000.
Yeah, that gets attention. So imagine somebody has a credit card, right? They're barely used it for 6 months. Then suddenly there are 400 transactions from 3 countries overnight. The bank goes, hold on, something's changed here. Email providers do something conceptually similar. They look for abnormal behavior.
Email campaign can kill your domain. That's where this is coming from.
And to be precise, you're not necessarily destroying a domain because you send 2 bad emails, but repeated bad practices can severely damage your ability to consistently reach inboxes. And repairing reputation can take time, man.
SPF, DKIM, DMARC. What do these actually mean?
Very simplified. So SPF tells email providers which servers are authorized to send email for your campaign. DKIM adds a digital signature so the receiving server can verify that the message was legitimately authorized and hasn't been altered. And DMARC gives instructions about how authentication failures should be handled and provides additional reporting and control.
Sounds a lot like the government, but what does that translate to?
Pretty much in the sense of authentication basically says, I am actually who I say I am.
That's it.
That's the easiest way to remember it. And this part is important. Authentication does not guarantee inbox placement.
Wait a minute. You're telling me I can do everything correctly, I can configure everything correctly, pass authentication, and still land in spam land?
Yep. Authentication establishes identity. Reputation helps establish trust. So think about walking into a nightclub. Authentication is showing the bouncer ID. So that proves who you are, but it doesn't guarantee they're letting you into the VIP section.
All right, your email may be read before the customer reads it. Here's something that sounds almost creepy. Sometimes something interacts with your email before the human does.
So there are automated security systems, privacy features, link scanners, and other technologies operating between the sender and the recipient. Some systems inspect messages, some check links, some automated systems can affect what gets recorded as engagement, and privacy technology can automatically load content.
I feel that creates a really important lesson. Stop worshiping the open rate.
Exactly. Because an open doesn't necessarily mean someone sat there, read your email and thought. So that is one reason open rate data isn't as dependable as it once was.
So what should businesses care about?
A real behavior, clicks, replies, appointments, purchases, conversions, someone replying, yes, I'm interested. That's a stronger signal than obsessing over whether a dashboard says somebody opened an email.
All right, email warm up. Don't go from 0 to crazy.
At its core, it means gradually establishing legitimate sending activity instead of going from almost nothing to massive volume overnight. For example, don't activate a brand new sending setup Monday and blast 10,000 marketing emails Tuesday.
What would you do instead?
Start with your best audience. Let's say you've got 5,000 subscribers.
Nice.
You're doing pretty good, right? Don't automatically start with all 5,000. Maybe identify your best 100 legitimate, engaged subscribers. People who know the company, customers who opt in, are most likely to actually want the information, sending something useful. Then monitor what happens.
And then you can gradually increase.
Exactly 100, then perhaps a few hundred, then larger groups. The exact progression depends on the situation, provider, and sending infrastructure, but the principle is simple.
Email providers like predictable behavior.
So yeah, legitimate, consistent behavior. There are also third-party warm-up services out there, and companies sometimes test communication between employees or accounts across different providers. But here's the important distinction. Testing is fine. Verifying delivery is fine. Making sure authentication works is fine. Making sure replies work is fine. What you do not want is a strategy built around fake engagement designed to trick spam filters. So the goal is to create a real sending history with a real audience that actually wants your messages.
Marketing emails that look like somebody, just discovered HTML yesterday. Sale, limited time, buy now, don't miss out.
Yeah.
Final warning.
Here's our preference for a lot of service businesses, all right? Try emails that feel more like real text communication. Simple, clean, conversational, human. You need to add that human element.
Like something I might actually receive from another person?
Exactly, man. Especially for consulting, service businesses, relationship selling, lead nurturing, and follow-ups. Now, that doesn't mean HTML is automatically bad. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're Nike announcing a new sneaker, pictures probably matter. If you're a furniture company, people want to see the furniture. If you're a fashion brand, visual design matters. But don't assume fancy design automatically equals better marketing.
Sometimes simple text wins because people aren't looking for another advertisement. They're looking for communication.
Your email should have a reason to exist, not just a reason to look pretty.
And this one sounds backwards. The unsubscribe button. Businesses hate it. Why would I make it easy for somebody to leave my list? I'll tell you why. Because there's another button sitting right next to your email, and it's a whole lot worse.
It's called report spam. Yeah, don't hide it in a microscopic gray text at the bottom of a 14-foot long email. Just let them unsubscribe. Because the recipient thinking, I can't find the unsubscribe button, may simply hit spam. And now you potentially have a potential signal you didn't need.
And you know what? That's the paradox. You think unsubscribe button is losing you a subscriber. It may actually be protecting your list from spam land.
So a smaller list of people who want your email is significantly healthier than a massive list of people who are annoyed every time your name appears.
You should buy a dedicated IP. What's the story there?
Most smaller businesses begin on shared infrastructure, right? And for many businesses, that's completely appropriate. As your sending volume becomes larger and more consistent, a dedicated IP can give you greater control over the reputation associated with that infrastructure.
If you live in one of those apartment buildings in New York and everything looks like crap, nothing you could do about it. But if you buy your own house, you can definitely make it look good.
But also more responsibility. A dedicated IP doesn't magically give you a good reputation, Justin. You have to build that reputation. It needs to be warmed gradually.
All right. So don't finish this episode and then immediately Google buy IP address.
Yeah, please don't. Build the audience, build the sending routine, establish healthy engagement, and then upgrade the infrastructure when the business actually justifies it.
Quick lightning round. What should people actually monitor?
Delivery rate, hard bounces, spam complaints, unsubscribes, clicks, replies, conversions, provider rejection errors, and domain reputation. For significant Gmail sending, Google Postmasters tools can also provide useful visibility into authentication, reputation, complaints, and delivery issues.
And again, not just open rate.
Correct. If you're selling $5,000 services and nobody bought anything, don't celebrate because you got a 62% open rate.
Yeah. So somebody's watching this right now. They have an email campaign ready. Their finger is hovering over send. Before they touch it, give me the checklist.
So first, you're going to authenticate your sending domain, SPF, DKIM DMARC. Make sure the infrastructure is configured correctly. Second, clean your list. Stop treating a giant pile of email addresses like a valuable database. Third, start with the best people, okay? Your most legitimate and engaged subscribers. Fourth, grow gradually. Don't go from 100 to 10,000 overnight. Fifth, develop consistency. Create predictable, legitimate sending patterns. Six, send something people actually want. Number seven, keep the email simple. Don't use fancy design just because your software lets you. Number 8, watch bounces, complaints, replies, clicks, and conversions. And number 9, make unsubscribing ridiculously easy. Don't hide it. It's only going to hurt you.
Yeah, because you'd rather lose one subscriber than damage your ability to reach tens of thousands of others. Here's the big takeaway. Email marketing isn't really a numbers game. It's a trust game. But sending 100,000 emails means absolutely nothing if nobody wants them or nobody receives them.
Yeah. The question shouldn't be how many emails can we send? The question should be, have we earned the right to reach these people's inboxes?
If you're building a business and want more practical conversations about AI, marketing, website, automation, and business technology, follow Altavis One. We'll see you in the next episode.
Peace.